Yeah, hey Thomas. Thanks for doing this. Just looking at the whole scope of the season, knowing that you probably weren't supposed to be here, right? You're supposed to be in the O, and uh, this experience was one that maybe Texas Stars fans may not have had as well. What do you take away from the entire year in the HL? What did you learn here, and how's that going to serve you better as you move to the NHL next year?
Um, I'd say just how big and strong everyone is, and that you have to bring your A game each and every night if you want to have success and win games. And this is the first year that I've really lived and been around pros for an entire year. Like I got it a little bit in the bubble, but that was only 2 months or whatever it was, and this was a little longer. So it was nice to get an apartment and cook for myself, kind of have some sort of sense of normalcy with the season.
And as far as the season that you had statistically was pretty fantastic. What do you feel like you need to clean up in order to move to that next level?
Well, it's going to be the defensive urgency, defending on the puck and winning board battles, ending plays quicker, and that's something that management has gotten through to me, and something I'm going to work on. Hopefully, bring back better in the camp next year.
Let's go to Taylor.
Hi, Thomas. I was just wondering, for yourself, you played with Joe Sassoni early in the season and then Ben Gleason later, kind of down the line. How do you adjust your game with the partner that you have next to you and their strengths and weaknesses themselves?
Well, Cheeks is definitely a more defensive guy than myself or Glee. He's better at it, and when I'm with him, I don't change it too much really, but when I'm with him, I definitely can. He doesn't join the rush as much as Glee does, so I'll be able to get up and maybe pass him all the way up the rush for the rush. But with Glee, it's who's ever up ice quicker is in the rush, and I think me and Glee really got some good chemistry down at the end there. I think we had a lot of success, and we were getting a lot of points. He was getting a lot of pluses. I think we were playing well together, but it's not too hard to switch between D partners like that. It's just a bit of an adjustment.
And then for yourself looking forward, are you more comfortable having a more defensive minded partner so that you can push the play of the ice? I'm thinking when you do get to Dallas and you hit the NHL level, obviously you've got Klingberg, you've got Miro, and those guys both activate. And then you've got some guys that are more stay-at-home types like Issa Lindell or Jamie Lixiak to a degree. So is there one that you prefer to play with more than the other?
I prefer with that more stay-at-home partner, mostly because I like playing offense, and that's the fun part of the game. But like you said, when you're in Miro, I don't think I'd have any trouble fitting in with either of those guys. It's just adjustment. It's not too hard to stay back if your partner's a zone and a half Eddie in the rush. So like I said, I prefer that stay-at-home D partner, but doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Excellent. Thank you.
Let's go to Matt.
Hey, Thomas. Just about the defensive side, you mentioned that management has gotten through to you about that. You killed a lot of penalties this year. What did you learn about killing penalties at the professional level?
How much sacrifice it takes. I've never really blocked shots before this year. Out in the PK out there, you're good. You're gonna have to. You're gonna lose games because if the power play goes against. So that was the first time really doing that. And everything else kind of I've done before. The neutral zone gaps and just kind of having an active stick. But I think that's the biggest adjustment for me was that block of shots.
Yeah, and I know this is kind of a tougher hypothetical, but do you ever think about what this year in your development is like if you're in the OHL versus playing the entire season in the AHL like you actually did?
I think this is the way better of the two options. It's a stronger league. I think it's fast league for sure. So I think I'm way better off having a year here than I would have with my last year junior.
Let's go over to Patrick.
Yeah, just to follow up on that, the NHL CHL rule, kind of a a real source of discussion or controversy around hockey. What are your thoughts on that rule? I mean, in terms of not only yourself, but some of your peers that have been in similar situations as you this year.
Yeah, I mean, got a lot of buddies that played in the AHL. I mean, McMichael just won Player of the Week, and Phil Tomasino in Chicago was over a point per game. I think was their leading scorer. So, I don't think it's out of the question that 19-year-olds, if they're good enough, can play in the AHL. I think it's a great league. I think we've shown that we can play here and develop. So I think it's something. Maybe it's something that needs to be looked at in the future, but I'm pretty happy with the way it worked out this year.
Yeah, and then just as part of your game, obviously driving the play is a big part of it. How much of that do you think you can bring with you to the NHL, or will you have to taper that back a little bit in order to play that solid defensive game they want?
No, I don't think I'm gonna have to taper it back at all. I think I just need to add that defensive intensity to my game. I don't think. I'm not trying to speak for management here, but I think that's really one of the things I like about me is how I drive the play. So I think I'm going to keep trying to continue to do that at this level and the next level, and just try and bring that defensive game up to snuff with it.
Thank you.
And Saad?
Hey, Thomas, just what was this entire season like for you off the ice, the adjustment of, your living situation and just, the traveling, just the COVID protocols, all that stuff off the ice? What was this entire season like for you?
Well, I hate to say this, but this is normal for me at this point. 2 bubbles and a year later, I think, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do when we don't have to wear masks anymore. I think this is normal now. I think, but yeah, like you said, it's my first year living by my own too, so I don't have any other experience to this is so much different than before. So this is really my first year living alone. So it was a learning curve. Starting off, I didn't know how to cook a ton of food, so it was a lot of chicken in the oven and a lot of potatoes, and that's all we had for about a week. And then I started calling my mom, like, "Hey, you got any recipes that are good and that are nice and easy, that are quick?" So it was definitely a learning experience there. And living with Antonio Stranges was nice. He's younger than me, which is new, but he's very energetic. He brought a lot of life to our little apartment, so that was fun.
Thomas, just from the coach's standpoint this year, what did Neil and Travis, I guess if you had to pick one thing that they brought to your game this year, what would that be? They really harped on that defensive intensity with me. But for the most part, they had a lot of confidence in me, which I loved. They knew I was going to be a good player, and that if they put me out there and trusted me, I would reward that trust. And I think we had a really good relationship between the 3 of us.